Hi, it's Elise here with a whole new teen book spotlight here in our youth section at the Bowman Library. So this week is a super exciting time if you are a reader because it is award season for books. Believe it or not, there are awards for books. So for this week's theme, we're going to take a look at some of the past books that have won some of these awards. So let's get started. Our first one is Dig by A.S. King. So this is a Prince Award winner. The Prince Award is given out every year to the best YA book for the entire year. So this book, when it won, it was the best book for the whole year. So I will tell you this before I dig into this book. This book, when you read it, will make you uncomfortable. You have been warned. So in a small Pennsylvania town, there is this large estranged family. The family used to own a ton of land where they would grow potatoes. But when one of the siblings, named Gottfried, decided that he was going to sell his share of this land to a housing development so he could make a lot of money, things started to go downhill for the family. 5 teens in this town soon realized that they all share the same rich grandfather, Gottfried, and that they are in fact cousins. As they come together, they start to realize that not only do they each have their own issues and problems, their own whole family is racist, they're classist, and they're abusers. This amazing realistic novel deals with family and individual issues, some of which are ones that we can all relate to. This deep story that does not shy away from tough and sensitive issues has an intricate plot, but when you stick with it, it does pay off. And when it won, I had to agree that it was one of the best books of the year. This is Dig by A.S. King. So, speaking of intricate plots, this book also kind of falls into that category. And what you're going to find with Prince winners, a lot of them are a little bit more intricate than some other books. So this is Where Things Come Back by John Corey Whaley. So not only is this a Prince Award winner, this is a Morris Award winner. And here's what's crazy about this, is the Morris Award is given to the book that's like the best book of the year that's written by a debut author. This was his first book. And not only did it win that award, it won the best book for the entire year award. So yeah, it was a pretty good year for Where Things Come Back. So Colin lives in a small Arkansas town where nothing ever happens. One day though, there's this woodpecker that was thought to be extinct, but it's sighted in his town, and it leads to this flurry of excitement, and soon there's so many people and tourists coming into this town to try to find this woodpecker. In the midst of all of this, though, Colin's cousin commits suicide, and his younger brother, Gabriel, disappears. But because of all the craziness of this woodpecker, Gabriel's story is kind of like hidden in the news. Like, not everyone realizes that Gabriel is missing and Colin's family is trying to find him. While all of this is going on, another storyline is taking place with Cabot showing up back to college, and he finds his roommate dead. Soon, these storylines start to converge though, as Cabot, he wants to find the true mission for his life. And this leads him to Cullen's small town. And it may have something to do with Gabriel missing. Told through multiple points of view, you will be turning the page as fast as you can to try to figure out what happened to Gabriel and how everything comes together in this plot that has so many storylines. But I promise you, it all makes sense in the end. So this is Where Things Come Back. Another Prince Award winner, this is We Are Okay by Nina Liqueur. So it's winter break, and Marin, who is a freshman in college, decides she's going to stay in New York in her dorm room rather than return home to San Francisco. One day, though, her best friend Mabel shows up, and slowly the reasons why Marin did not want to go home start to unfold and reveal themselves. From dealing with the loss of her mother when she was young to the recent loss of her grandfather, who was her caregiver. But he was also holding on to these drastic secrets that, when they are revealed, they changed everything. Then there is her growing and changing relationship with Mabel that is headed into the unknown as well, and Marin doesn't know what to make of it. Marin starts to learn that she needs to learn from the past in order to move forward, because that's the only direction that she's going, but that can be easier said than done. This realistic novel will put you through so many emotions as you learn with Marin as she discovers what life is like now. And you might learn some stuff about your own life as well. This is We Are Okay. Vincent and Theo. Oh, this book is so good. This is a YALSA Nonfiction Award winner. So not only are there books that cover fiction books, there's awards that are for nonfiction books as well. This book was the best nonfiction book for teens in the whole year. So we have all heard about Vincent Van Gogh, but how many of us have heard about his brother Theo? Theo, though, played such an integral role in Vincent's development as an artist and as a person. And this book is based on the over 700 letters they wrote back and forth to each other throughout their lifetimes. From their childhoods through their successes and turmoils, they each supported each other's while competing against each other. And occasionally, they had their own volatile relationship between the two of them. This amazing nonfiction book is filled with sketches, drawings, paintings, even the letters that they wrote. And the more you discover how these brothers made each other, the more you become aware of how Vincent Van Gogh was not him without Theo, and vice versa. So this is Vincent and Theo. Serafina by Rachel Hartman. So this is a Morris Award winner. Again, this is for the best book by a debut author. So keep in mind, this is the first book she wrote. So in the land of Gorid, there is a treaty between humans and dragons that has lasted over 40 tenuous years. Humans cannot enter the dragon's land, and when dragons come into the human land, they have to take their human form. They cannot be dragons. Serafina, who is the assistant to the court composer, though, has a deadly secret. She is half dragon, which is against the rules and the codes of society. So her father's human, but her mother was a dragon. When the prince is found dead, everyone is quick to make the assumption that he was killed by a dragon. And that's when things really start to deteriorate between the two groups. It will be up to Serafina, though, to save the kingdom, but that will probably risk her life and her secret. This action-packed mystery fantasy will have you in another world wondering what it would be like to live with dragons and what would you do if you were half dragon. There is a sequel to this book that you will want to read in order to find out what happens. This is Serafina. And our last one for today is Truce by Jim Murphy. So this is an Edwards Award winner. What I love about the Edwards Award is it goes to an author who has done an incredible contribution to YA literature. So it's not just for a book, but it's for an author and everything she has done. So Jim Murphy has won this award. He is an amazing nonfiction author. So this is about World War I, known as the Great War. It was the first war that had immense carnage, and it also had some incredible progress in war technology. In Truce, though, you start, examining the causes of World War I that lead up to the war starting, and then you get to December 1914, when along the Western Front, when soldiers were living in trenches, both sides were literally facing each other across a field. When it came time for Christmas, though, both sides agreed to a temporary truce. It literally stopped the war so soldiers could celebrate Christmas and the holidays. What's even more, though, is that both sides celebrated together, with soldiers even meeting in the middle to celebrate the season with their so-called enemy. This amazing nonfiction book brings you right into the thick of this event, complete with photographs that were actually taken by the soldiers themselves in 1914. You will learn so much about this occasion, and it's mostly glossed over in history class, but you will become an expert with this book. So good, highly recommended. This or anything by Jim Murphy, you're gonna be pretty much guaranteed a great nonfiction book. So these are just some of the award winners that we have here. I guarantee we have way more than what I showed you. So we literally have a book that's won an award for everyone. So come on down and we can help you find that perfect award winner if it's not one of these 6. I hope you tune back next week when we have a whole new teen book spotlight, and I hope you have a great week.